So Colin Cowherd just dropped his ranking of the top 10 players remaining in the NBA playoffs. And you guys know I love watching these videos and reacting to them for you guys. So if you do enjoy them as much as I do, feel free to drop a thumbs up on this video. And what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? It has been a weird playoff so far. Or a weird second round. The Bucks have just gotten blown out in the first two games. They just lost by 39 points. That one wasn't close at all. The Philadelphia 76ers were getting blown up by the Atlanta Hawks at home, fully healthy. Then the Hawks ended up winning by 4. That was kind of weird. Phoenix just beat Denver in a good game last night. Then they pulled away in like the second half. And then we got the Jazz and Clippers tonight. I'm recording this at 5:30. You guys will probably see this a little bit later. I should get this video out roughly around the start of the night games or something like that. And like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. You don't have to, but I hope you do. And yeah, we'll see if I agree with Colin's ranking, if I disagree. And always give me your opinions down below. Let's see what Colin has to offer. Let's see.
I don't have Giannis in my top 10 most valuable.
What? 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 Okay. All right. Whoa.
I'll give you my list. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Number 1.
Kevin Durant. 32.
Oh, he's starting from 1. Okay. Weird. But Kevin Durant at 1, I think I'd agree. Yeah, you'd probably have KD 1. You probably have Kawhi 2. All right, that Kawhi's my second
game,
guess, but KD 1,
55% shooting. He is unstoppable.
I think I agree.
He is the greatest 6'11 and a half, 7-foot offensive player that's not back to the basket. I mean, he's Dirk Nowitzki, but significantly better. He's the best player left. He's the most valuable player. Let's be honest. He gets hurt, they're not winning the championship.
I agree.
James Harden is missing, and they're blowing the Bucks out. So when it comes to postseason, I like Harden, but Harden has never been a great postseason player. KD, unlike Harden, does not need the whistle. He needs a ball and a hoop. He's the MVP right now in the playoffs.
Okay.
Number 2.
Kawhi Leonard.
There we go. Okay, so now it gets interesting. Who's number 3? My choice would probably be between... Ooh, there's 3 players or 4. So normally I would have Giannis, but I don't know if I would have Giannis at 3. So you would have, like, the pool of players would be Giannis, Embiid. I don't think I'd put Chris Paul in there. So Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, and Kyrie. Those are probably, and Mike Harden, those are probably the 5 guys you can consider at 3. Then you got players like Booker and Paul and Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young, who could also be in that conversation. But I would have most likely Jokic or Embiid as my third best
range
player.
game, doesn't have the three-point ability of KD, but he's a better defender than KD. And KD plays defense. Give KD credit. He'll play defense. But Kawhi doesn't have the offensive range of KD, but he's a better defensive player, and we saw what he did to Luka at the end of that
series. Phenomenal in that series, like phenomenal. He was, I think, the only player ever not named Shaq who scored like 30+ points on 60% shooting in the playoffs. But Shaq did on like an average like range of shooting of like 3 to 4 feet. Kawhi did on like 16. Mind-blowing number.
So Kawhi 2.
Number 3.
Okay, Chris Paul.
Embiid.
I'm sorry,
Phoenix. Chris Paul. Okay, I can see the reasoning. It's weird because like this is now like a whole new fresh slate for the playoffs. Who do you have where? And I guess from recent track records in these playoffs, yeah, I guess I wouldn't put Giannis as high as 3. I think I like Embiid there at 3. Chris Paul, maybe.
He's had the worst record in the NBA the previous 5 years. You take him off this roster, it's a bunch of kids. They're not playing anymore. I think he's the most underrated player in the NBA. Not point guard. The most underrated player in the NBA in 20 years.
That's why I think it's more Chris Paul making the Suns good than Monty Williams. That's why I thought Tibbs deserved the coach of the year.
Got love. Magic got love. Isaiah got love. Steph gets love. Find me a point guard. He's like a quarterback in the NFL. That's a Hall of Famer that doesn't even get nominated this year for an MVP vote. I mean, give me a break. By the way, second best record in the NBA. For 11 years, they didn't make the playoffs and just blew by the Lakers.
Number 4.
James Harden. Now, I like Harden, but he's not playing right now, so I'll put him at 4. The other thing I'll say, we know James can score. He's a little dependent on the whistle, so that's why I think KD in the playoffs is more valuable than Harden is. Harden was more valuable in the regular season than KD was. Also, Harden this year has really been impressive. His distribution numbers are through the roof. So James Harden has done something I really appreciate. He sensed the room, smart enough to see, hey, they don't need all my scoring. What they need is my distribution here too. and he's done it. So Harden, I have at 4.
Okay,
Number
at 5,
5.
I'd probably have Embiid or Jokic, whoever he prefers. I have a feeling it's going to be like Booker or Mitchell. Maybe, I don't think it'll be Trey. Maybe it's Kyrie. No, I feel like it's going to be Booker or Mitchell, even though I'd have Jokic or Embiid. We'll see. But, I don't know. Let's see.
Not Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell's the only active player to average 20 points a game in the playoffs each of the first 4 years in the NBA. So he was good when he came into the league, but he's also a very willing defender. He is also the team leader. So they don't have a second scorer on this team that can give you 25 a night guaranteed. He's incredibly important to this team. He'll lock you up defensively. He's got leadership skills. He's good late in games, and he's a great offensive player.
Number 6.
Now, Kyrie's a greater offensive player.
He's got Kyrie
but
at 6, so he doesn't even have Embiid or Jokic in the top 7. Okay, and I'm guessing Giannis isn't in this list, so I'm guessing the remaining 4 players are somewhat of Booker, Embiid, Jokic, and Trey? Or, yeah, it's got to be Trey. Oh, I can't believe he doesn't have Giannis in here. Trey or Paul George. Or I said Paul George. Yeah, Paul George.
Kyrie emotionally sometimes doesn't show up, and defensively, he's a liability. The one thing I'll say about Kyrie, we all know he's a great finisher. The dude does not turn the ball over. Go look at the last 5 games. To handle the ball as much as Kyrie and never turn it over tells you how much control and skill he has offensively. But you can attack him defensively. You can't Donovan Mitchell at all.
Number 7.
The Joker out of Denver. Listen, he's the only player in the postseason giving you 30 and 10. So he's a point center. He's the best passing big man in the NBA. You have to go back to Bill Walton or Arvydas Sabonis.
The best
he's incredibly valuable. He's okay on the defensive end. He's not great. He's okay. They don't have any of their guards. So they got 3 guards not available. So it's now really leaning on him.
Third? It's Barden, Murray, and who am I forgetting? You got Rivers, Morris, Compazzo. Who the hell's the other one? I'm just drawing a blank. I'm sure one of you guys will let me know who he's talking about down below. Why can't I think of who this is? I don't know. But I disagree. We'll go and see.
There are limitations. He never looks in good shape. I know he's a pro athlete. He is. But he looks worn down a little bit last night late.
I think that's a bad reason to have somebody at 7 because they don't look in shape or look the part.
Number 8.
Trae Young. Folks, what do you want to say? The kid is not only carrying a team. Who's the third best player for the Hawks?
Bogdan.
Seriously.
Or no,
we're in the playoffs. You can name the third best player for every team left. Who's the third best player for the Hawks?
Okay, honestly, I think it's easier to name the third best player for the Hawks than it is for the Clippers, or it is for the Nuggets. Yeah, I think it's easier for the Hawks than it is for the Clippers and Nuggets. Just saying.
And he's a great road player. So he's a showman. Most young players shrink on the road in the playoffs. Not Trae Young. He's better on the road in the playoffs. I mean, that is a testament to his confidence and his skill.
Number 9.
Devin Booker. Again, you'd say Devin's better than Trae, but Devin Booker could not carry his franchise to the second round of the playoffs without Chris Paul. Devin's a great player. Now, the West is tougher than the East. He's a tremendous offensive player. He'll body up defensively. Not a great defensive player, but he's got pride. He'll play some defense. He also had 47 points in the closeout game against the Lakers. I love that. It was a stand-up moment. Step on the throat of the Lakers. He did 47 points, so he is number 9.
Number 10.
Joel Embiid.
Okay, wow. Yeah, he doesn't have Giannis in here. He also doesn't have Paul George in here. We'll see what he says about Embiid, then I'll say
what you want. He's the closest thing we have to Shaq. Torn meniscus. He gets docked a little bit because he played great and couldn't beat Trae Young. That's why I put Trae Young ahead of him. Trae Young played great. Embiid played great. Embiid's got better teammates. Trae Young won. That's why he's ahead of him. Now, where's Giannis on this? Where do you want me to put Giannis? And I'm not anti-Giannis, but where do you want me to put him in terms of value? Late in games, none of these players, late in games, I feel are a liability. Giannis is, with 4 minutes to go.
All right, so here's his top 10 list. I agree with number 1. I agree with number 2. I would put Harden at 3 over Chris Paul. I wouldn't put Donovan Mitchell at 5. I probably wouldn't put Kyrie at 6. I would bump up Jokic. I would bump up Booker over Trae. I would probably get Embiid up there. I would probably move Trae down. I would move Chris Paul a little bit down. I'd move Donovan Mitchell down. And, like, the main guy off this list is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Also, Paul George deserves some, at least, credit to be in this list. I mean, he's had an okay playoff. So, you know, I'm fine with him not being in the top 10. But it's really Giannis that should be on this list. Who do I take off, though? That's tough. He is right. Who do I take off? Maybe you take off... It's tough. You can't really take off Kyrie, I feel. Is it Trey? Not what he's been doing. So, Colin does have a point. It's really hard to say who you value here in crunch time. Giannis over one of these guys. So, I don't know. I would like to hear your guys' discussion down below. I think it is very tough to see who would you rank as the top 10 best remaining players in the playoffs. And yeah, let me know. Does Giannis deserve to be on this list? If he doesn't, tell me. And if he does, tell me where he belongs on this list. And who do you kick off? That's what you have to tell me. Who do you kick off? So yeah, that is going to be for me. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like if you guys did enjoy. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.